Hello, you baffling clowns! I have a new episode of Comic Reviews of Fate, and this week I have 4 comics. Don't forget, by the way, I have a new issue of Red Knight. Issue 6 is out. You can order it off of 2 websites, my Etsy shop and primalpapercomics.com. Now, let's start with Hawkeye, shall we? Hawkeye number, where are we here? Number 7 by Matt Fraction, and we have a guest artist here, actually 2 guest artists, excuse me, Steve Lieber and Jesse Ham, and talk about, ripped from the headlines, talk about, let's see, what do you call it, topical. This is Hawkeye and Hawkeye versus Hurricane Sandy. I mean, didn't we just have that? That's amazing. This story really does what this series has been doing well, is it really looks into the human side of being a superhero, and we see how our heroes, let's see, Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, deal with the storm. And you know, it's funny, his friend Grill says, "Oh, I thought you'd be with the Avengers." Well, can't really shoot an arrow at a storm. So what's going on is 2 different stories. This issue is actually split in half. Clint is helping one of his tenants in the building, Grills, go up further, I guess, stateside to the suburbs to hang out with his dad. He didn't have a ride, so he was able to take him. And, of course, once they get there, the water just rushes and just floods their house, and he has to save them. Thankfully, he's great at boats. Now, I really did enjoy this this half of the issue, frankly. A lot of it deals with Grills' character we have barely gotten to know. He goes to his house. He has this rocky relationship with his father. It's not Bruce Banner and his dad kind of terrible, but, you know, it's, you know, the kind of normal, you know, rocky kind of relationship. And he's really upset because the basement gets flooded and a box of his mother's things is ruined. He lost his mother quite some time ago, and this is one of the last few items he has left. And frankly, as someone who lost his own mother myself this past year, this did really kind of strike a chord with me, and it almost choked me up quite a bit. And, you know, thankfully, you know, we have this story where, you know, these 3 men are able to, like, you know, get through this problem together. Then we cut to earlier that day, because he mentions, hey, I know this stupid idiot who went to a wedding the same night. Oh, and then we cut back to that stupid idiot. It's Kate Bishop, who insisted going to a wedding in Jersey. She's from Jersey, by the way. And this was a very big deal, and nothing was going to stop her. Except the storm, and it kind of like decimates the whole place. She needs to go out and get, I believe, some medicine from one of the people who is there, so she goes to try to get to the drugstore. Of course, it's being looted, and just before she's able to, like, skewer them with a whole bunch of arrows, she's hit blindsided by a can of beans, where she thinks, like, oh great, they got away. And no, the people who have been trying to, like, you know, clean up their own places, you know, catch them in the act. Oh, this is fantastic. This is a great issue. I can't tell you how great this series is. And this is easily 5 Ram chips. I love it. This is embarrassingly better than, I don't know, 80% of the other books being published out there. This is very good stuff. Highly recommend it. Now, Avengers Number 4, and this is by Jonathan Hickman and Adam Kubrick doing the art. And it picks up quite literally from the fallout from the story arc that we just had, where actually there's a lot of focus on this one with Hyperion, who I'm not too familiar with this character. I know he's kind of been around, but I've really never been a big I don't know, I have never been a big expert on this character. He is kind of a Superman character, not really a parody, but a character inspired by. One of those kind of Superman characters where people write, and they want to like get their own kind of take on the character, but without doing the character and stuff like that. Anyway, the art, by the way, in this is just typically beautiful from Kubrick. And let's see, the team split up because those big giant plant things that got shot over Earth are still loose and still sprouting, so they have to contend with that. Oh, and the scientists from AIM are also very interested, so they gotta fight these clowns as well. So not too bad. The issue ends with Hyperion making maybe possibly a decision that might affect the whole thing. Pretty good. It's pretty strong stuff. I get 4 RAM chips on this. Pretty enjoyable so far. Now, over at Image, we got Glory by Joe Keating, Ross Campbell, and a slew of guest artists who come in and do some scenes. Now, last we left, Glory, Nanaja, and their teammates discovered that Glory's mother isn't really dead, and they've all been snookered this whole time by their parents, which caused Glory to respond by literally knocking her mother's jaw off with a punch. But thankfully this race is pretty easily healed. The scene opens and I guess they like sewed the jaw back on. I guess that shit just Wolverine heals pretty easily. We've already seen like Glory like regrow her arm back from a fight from a couple of issues ago, so that's a really good race to be part of, I have to say. The fight just looks bigger because they have to deal with what these things are called knights, but they're these giant godlike things that destroyed pretty much their home planet, and guess what? They're gunning for Earth. So they're getting ready for war. And that's what this issue is pretty much about. It's the characters kind of dealing with the fact that they might not be coming back from this huge battle. We have Riley contact a friend. Let's see, Glory's parents kind of like hook up once more. Henry, and what's that? Belzara is the giant winged cat creature, are playing at the beach with a girl, and Glory gets a gift from this dude who, well, frankly looks like the Question. And he tells her that this item could relieve the world of Glory forever. Yeah. So we'll see what that is. And of course, Nanaja finds the baby, and they hang out and realize the baby is kind of a flamethrower, actually, with wings. So, wow, I mean, just all the guest artists here, they have different styles for the most part, and they all work for the individual scenes. So, yeah, it's really wonderful, and you really do get this feeling of dread, since especially the series is ending in 2 issues, so, I mean, literally anything can happen. Oh, and something amazing happens at the end of this issue. Glory called for backup. All the Rob Liefeld characters show up. I mean, I gotta hand it to Keating and Campbell. I'm actually excited to see Youngblood show up. I don't know how that happened. This is it's pretty amazing. You can like take a look at all these characters. I mean, Chapel's there, Supreme, like all these Youngblood guys. I was kind of expecting to see Spawn, but then I remembered, oh, this is only the Rob Liefeld universe. So, I mean, Troll is even there. I mean, who cares about that guy? And it's great seeing them all. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm that invested with this series. So, 5 RAM chips. Go check it out. Now, last but not least is Adventure Time number 12. And this is one of the covers. They have several covers for each issue. Lindsay and I each got separate different covers, which is cool. This story is by Ryan North, and it's drawn by Shelley Paraline, as well as Brandon Lamb. And this picks up from the last issue, where Finn, Jake, and Marceline get sucked into the video game of BMO, and once they get out, BMO seems really weird, and they're trying to solve the mystery as to what really happened to her. Also, while we realize, let's see, we come to realize in this issue that while they were doing that, Lumpy Space Princess wanted to be part of their game, and couldn't get really involved because it's a 3-player game. So she kind of got stuck as an inanimate object during the game. Oh man, she's just me. Anyway, their mystery takes them to this group of also wizards or something like that. By the way, I really love Marceline's wizard hat, I guess. And I don't want to give anything too away because this is really a fun story so far. Dug it a lot. The art looks just flawless. I mean, this has generally a rotating group of artists, and they all really do an amazing job keeping within the spirit of the series. And look, loved it a lot. If you are a Adventure Time fan, you should definitely check out the comic book. And if you're curious about the show, pick up an issue or something like that. The comic really well represents the series, I think. Although, you may be a tiny bit lost because you may want to be familiar with the characters, but I think you can pick up pretty easily. I'm going to give this a strong 4 RAM chips. I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.